Do it, Jake. You're screaming ice cream. We all stream for iMac screens. Oh, man.
I don't remember this. Hi.
Alrighty then. The new iMac. This is the toolkit, so it's showing 4 terabytes and it's backing up, and then it's showing the mirror, which says updated an hour ago. Mirror files of session drive updated 1 hour ago, but I don't understand what this is. What it says, my Mac. It's like not showing anything in that. Or if I go drive, it's not showing. I don't understand how to see it. Oh, maybe I'm losing my mind. Right, I don't want to do that. So anyway, but I mean, it seems to be working. I just don't think I fully understand it. And that's it. And here's the new drive. It's called Session, and I'm backing everything up. And yeah. We have, when this was originally installed, all the cables just come down the center. I mean, it's in a knot, dude, if you can imagine that. This is the back of my rack. Will, is this is going to take us 2 hours to clean this up and run it down the side. Is it time?
I think it's time.
Okay, so do I. I agree with you.
No time like the
I
present.
agree with you wholeheartedly. There's also an outlet there. All right. This video is just going to be bits and pieces of the process. So we're going to, so you can kind of see it. I'll back it up a little bit so you can see it. It is a rat's nest. That looks like Mama Spaghetti. You know, I sounded like when I said that, Mama Spaghetti.
Yeah.
Major Pain.
Oh, yeah.
You maggots! My kids love that movie. What are your feelings hurt, you little turd? All right, so this is the actual footage of the back. Oh, man, we're going to clean it up. Will says it. Let's do it now. Look at this. This is just insane. You can't even get to anything back here. So it's literally, this is it. We're fixing this. I hope you didn't plan on going home today.
Oh,
You're pulling a double.
I actually got to work here at 12.
Oh! So this is everything that we didn't take off. That's going across there. This is wide open. We got all these DB25s. The game plan is to get them to kind of all come down one side and then probably power come down the other side. What time is it?
Let's see. It's 12:24.
All right. No,
We got time.
we'll have this thing up and running in a couple hours. Well, there it is. That's the back now. That is unbelievable. You can just go, hey, I want to put my hand here. We had like 18 or 20 DB 25 cables that were tied in a knot right there. Come on, Woody. Come on. He's bringing it. No, he did a great job, though. But here we go. Jeez. What time is it? Like 2? Oh, my God, it's 2. We haven't even started the computer yet. But this was, you know, this was it. We needed to do this. And now we know the rig. Now there'll be no Apple Zing out of it, though. Because we chopped everything. So if we're having any issues, we're going to have to figure it out. Maybe what we'll do is, let's fire it up and we'll leave the rack where it is right now. We'll start here.
Computer?
Yeah, let's do it, man. So it's in place. We'll get a new thing for the base. And the base looks so weird now with the new computer. Unbelievable. All right, let's see. Oh, who thinks we did it? Well, I guess we'll find out, won't we? Okay, we got power. Is all the power plugged in? No, the power for back here is not plugged in. Okay, whoa. Okay, there's power for back there.
Clean.
Oh. What'd you spray on that?
Sunglass cleaner.
Oh my God. All right, so let's see what's up. Well, we don't have to worry about converters because we don't have Pro Tools yet.
Like spots or something that got on it.
All right. All right, let's fire it up. Is it back here or back here? Oh, back here. Okay.
That is one thing I'll have to like kind of reach back to turn it on.
Yeah. Okay, all right, look at that. So let's see if we got sound. We rigged up, we didn't rig it up, but we have now we have this going out to an 1/8, which would give us, I don't know. Sorry about that, guys. It's a terrible video. People are like, I'm getting seasick. Okay, well, look at this. We went right to, did I plug in the interwebs? No, let me get the interwebs. I have internets right here. We got internets. Interwebs. Okay, so now we're in the internets. All right, let me get in there really quick. Let's just see what's going on here. So now in theory, audio coming out would be, it would be now coming out. Yeah, it's showing
You
the
could even
drives.
pull it closer to you.
Yeah, let me, what the heck? Here it is. Force quit. It's trying to force quit. I got to get it to run faster with the trackball.
Yeah, just install the Kensington app.
So this would be, in theory, this would be it. I should have internets. There it is. Why is it saying offline? There's internet. Here it's got. Huh. That's weird. Okay, maybe something unplugged.
So you have the
Let me try this again. We're in the middle of this install. The internet is dead out here. Like unbelievable. All right, we gotta think. Internet's good in the house. Internet's not coming out here. All right, so in the middle of this, we lost internet. If you can believe that, we finally figured it out. We watched a little troubleshooting video. We have that internet that comes through the wall, through the electricity, and we had the stage light plugged into the same outlet. And they said, "Oh yeah, make sure. Do not drive. No drive connected." I don't know why it's saying that. It's like torture. Let me see if it's. Oh, now I can't see. I'm gonna click OK for the microphone. Like we need Mr. Microphone. Dude, look at that. That is like totally. I/O channel count for current playback devices has changed. Please restart Pro Tools. Okay. How could it have changed? We didn't do it. We haven't even started it. It already changed. So what do I do? Restart? Why is Spotify on? Shut up. Oh my God. We'll put the music over there. Loading, initializing audio, initializing MIDI engine. Okay, would you like to send usage and diagnostic data to Avid? Yeah, you guys care about me. This version of Pro Tools on 32-bit QuickTime components that are not available. Oh yeah, some of the extended QuickTime. Okay, yeah, I get it. Don't show this again. There's a little bit of QuickTime. Oh, look at that. It's a dashboard. There you go. Let's go test. Where are we going to, 24-bit 44.1. Let's just use last used and location. We'll just put this on our little rock and roll session drive. Would like to access files and removal. Okay. Whoa, dude. This is like the first time. I haven't done this in forever. Let's call this test 2020. What do you think? Whoa! That's what Pro Tools looks like?
Whoa.
Dude!
Which version of Pro Tools?
What am I on? Wait a second. What am I in Cubase?
I like it.
What is this? Look at this. There's the faders. It's cool. It's just the colors. We'll figure it out. We'll go get it. Look at this. This is like
it? Because I bought 2020, but I don't have HD.
No, this is 2020. No, it's just this.
No, I don't have.
I got. Okay, there you go.
I don't have I just have Pro Tools.
That's it. That was intense. That took 4 days. Well, it took really a few weeks, but 4 days. Today's day 3 of install, but there was a day previous to get this other computer all cleaned off and move everything over and prepare. So that's it. Everything that I want is installed. That's it. And the day I did the install, Pro Tools came out with a new version of Pro Tools, and Apple came out with the new OS. But I'm on the one just previous. So, all right. So I had this intention of kind of documenting this whole studio upgrade, and I documented some of the beginning, but then it got so gnarly that I just couldn't continue. It got so bad. I mean, we had so many problems. But it's done. And it's amazing. It's amazing. So we're running the last version of Catalina. It was so weird is that the day that we see, I gotta get used to this. It's my first official day in of turning things on. It's so weird to not have a computer there. The first day of the install, just everything just started to, we had a couple of major problems. One was there was no internet out here. There it is. Oh my God. There it is. So we got the RAID system. It's 2 4-terabyte drives. One's your working session drive and the other is a mirror. It's still a C too big RAID system, they call it, or something. Yeah. That comes with its own software. Oh my God. So anyway, yeah. So we've got our Macintosh HD drive, which is our session drive, our system drive. That is a 2 terabyte SSD drive. Then we've got the session drive, which has all the records and sessions and everything. That's on the RAID, which has an automatic kind of mirror. I'm still backing up because I just don't know how that. I don't know. I'm not really 100%. I don't know. I'll still back up onto another drive because I'm like that. And then we've got a Glyph drive here that has all the samples for Native and Keyscapes and Omnisphere and Slate and then all my personal samples, and it's got all the splice stuff. So, and then I've just got my little desktop 2021. You probably can't see all this. It's kind of glary. The screen is really intense. I have it really bright. Let me see if the video will look better if I darken it a little bit. Doesn't matter. Well, whatever. Get the gist of it. This is install. This is almost 500 gigs. This is every installer. When I got done, I just drug it into this folder. So these are all the installers. It is a lot of work, man. It's a lot of work. Oh man, got a lot of mo, like Clubber Lang said. Got a lot of mo. Yeah, so that's it. So it's ripping, man. It's so fast and it's so stable. I've not had one crash in this thing. Not one issue. It just took us a day to figure out how to the well, so the two major hurdles we had to get over the first day. Basically, it took us 10 hours to get Pro Tools installed. And the reason being was there were three hurdles, let's say. Here, let me get this out of here. The first hurdle was back here was a rat's nest. So now you can see it's absolutely perfect. All the audio down one side, the power cables down the other side. I originally came from a studio that was 1,700 square feet. So cables were 20 and 30 feet long. Here, like this is it, everything's right here. So the dude that originally installed this took all the excess and literally tied them in knots right here. So it was like out to here with cable, like in knots up. You couldn't even get to anything. And to be honest, I never had any ambition to get back there because it just always looked really intimidating. So all I did was work. That was what I did. I worked. And then, so now it's like, all right, I gotta get after this thing. So that took 6 hours, but I'm so glad we did it because not only is it look amazing, but now I know how everything's plugged in. And now it's like, oh, okay, it's simple. It's not that, it's not, it's like when you first look at an SSL console, you're like, oh my, the first thing people always ask when they come in the studio is like, how do you know what all of these buttons and knobs do? And that's like the natural thing, it's like, how do you know? Because it just looks like so overwhelming. But then once you sit on it for a little bit, you're like, oh, wait a second. It's like 48. It's like once you know one row, it's like you go up, it's like 48 of the same thing. It's not that hard. So this was the same way. Oh, it's like, okay, I see like a converter's going into the, the patch bay, or this is going into that. And the Avocet was very intimidating. And now it's like, oh, okay, it's not that bad. It's just now that I understand how it all works and how it's all plugged in, and then also how all the mics are run and how all the outboard gear, now it's totally easy. But that took 6 hours. So, and then once we got that done, that's when we realized, I'm going to separate these drum templates. That's when we realized that we had no internet. And that was just, we were a little beat up by that point. Now it's like 4 p.m. We've started here since whatever god awful time. Yeah, let's see if we got addictive. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so this is done. So I've got separate templates for my three main programs. So when you open the template, and this we'll call this Superior Drummer 3 2020. I'm gonna call this Addictive Drums. Trying to just get consistent, Addictive Drums 2020. Now we'll go to Superior. We'll do a save as, and then we're just, because actually now in Superior there's Superior and Battery, and I want 3 separate ones. I got it. We got it. Right, so then this one will be save as. Did I do it right? Hold on. No, save as. Right. And this we'll call battery 4. One thing I'm thinking of doing is, I can't do this now, I need 2 hands, is maybe pulling that screen a little further. Because if I go up to next, like, bigger resolution or lower resolution or whatever, so that everything gets bigger, Pro Tools is too big. It's like this. It's so weird, man. My vision is so bad. But anyway, so yeah, this video is kind of weird. I'm sorry. I was really gonna do a little more better documentation, but the first day of install was so crazy, and it was pretty overwhelming. So we had no internet. You ever see that Menon Skulka, that comedian? He goes, when his dad calls him, he says, "Hey, I got to learn the internets." Now that's the going joke at the house with the kids. They're like, "Hey, can I get on the internets?" And they say it in New York. Anyway, so we have no internet out here. So we run to Home Depot in Bellevue, which is like 25 minutes away, and buy a 150-foot Cat 6 cable, and we physically run a cable from the house all the way through the park, the driveway, up into the studio and back there, and then we had internets, and then once we had internets, we installed Pro Tools. Once we installed Pro Tools, and we fired everything up with the HDX converter or the HDX chassis. A couple things happened. One, at first it wouldn't see Pro Tools wouldn't see anything. Then we figured that out. Then Pro Tools would not see the converter. So, and this is kind of the whole point of this, is everything's now Avid. So it's like I've got a Mac computer, I've got Pro Tools, I've got the Avid chassis with the HDX Avid card, and then I've got an Avid 16x16 HDIO. Right? So everybody's on this. I don't have Apogee in the middle of all this and Antelope or anything. It's all the same, right? It won't see this. And we're on the phone with tech support at Sweetwater. They're trying to figure it out over here. And hours went by. Finally, they're like, "Hey, I think we're going to have to start an Avid support ticket," which, if anybody does what we do for a living and works on this stuff and knows, when the last thing you ever want to hear anybody say is, "We're going to start an Avid support ticket." That's almost like somebody saying, "Hey, listen, we're going golfing with the devil. It's going to be fun, maybe a little dangerous, but he says he's willing to play nice." Anyway, so I'm like, so the HDX card comes out of my old cheese grater, and we put it in here. So I hunted down. There's only one video that shows the installation, because I'm like, I told Will, I said, maybe there's something wrong in the installation. There's only one video that shows the installation into this chassis. And it's in Korean. It's a Korean dude. He's speaking Korean. So I'm watching this thing. I'm just like physically watching this dude and listening to him speaking Korean. And all of a sudden, he has this cable in his hand. And I'm like, "What is that?" I said, "Is that cable from inside the computer?" Needless to say, I assume that the HDX card comes with this little jumper cable for like powering the fan or something. We had installed the HDX card originally in that computer 8 years ago. So when we pulled it out, we just popped it in here. We didn't know. But also, here's the kicker. It's not in the manual. The Avid HDX Thunderbolt 3 chassis manual that is literally not even 2 pages long. It's basically 2 pictures with like a sentence underneath each picture on how to install this. Does not talk of this cable, does not show the cable, does not say pull the cable out of the HDX box or pull the cable out of the existing computer. Anyway, I said, Will, pull that cable, man. Pop it in, and we clicked it in, and it saw the Avid I/O. So by now, this is about 8:30 at night, 9 at night. We had started at like 9 in the morning. So it's like 12 hours later. We have the back of this thing cleaned up. We have Pro Tools installed. We have the chassis, HDX chassis installed. And everything is seeing. It's seeing the Avid I/O. It's seeing the chassis and Pro Tools. You can hit play and the cursor moves, right? Whatever. So, not the cursor, but the timeline, dude. So, yeah. And granted, like that was like we could have installed this thing very quickly by first and foremost knowing that, and second of all not dealing with the cables. But anyway, so at the end of the first day now, so I'm jacked, right? Will's spent, so I send Will home, and I install the basic stuff. I get Pro Tools working. I get it to see the Apogee converter and the Burl 1 and 2. The Burl B2 is 1 and 2. And then I install the UAD. I get it to see that, and I get that all going and authorize all the stuff. And then I install waves. And then I install like Fab Filter and all the heavies, all the main stuff, sound toys. Yeah, so and the sound toys thing is cool, man. They offered me an upgrade. I had like 3 or 4 of the main sound toys plugins. I had like Tremolator and Decapitator, Echo Boy, and something I can't, Devil Lock, right? Well, for $100, they brought those up to version 5, which is what you need, because the architecture of all this changed. I guess we're like 64-bit now, so it's like the plugins have changed. Same plugins, but they're different. They're new versions. So anyway, I got the entire suite. That their Electric Mistress thing. It's called Flanger Mistress or some kind of that Sound Toys plugin. That thing is insane. So that's kind of cool. We got Crystallizer and all that stuff. All right, so now I go to bed, and I think I'm downloading a bunch of other plugins. Like I'm downloading Omnisphere and stuff. I'm moving on to some other things. I got up that morning. I couldn't sleep. I got up at like 5 in the morning, came in here and started. And I think my first objective was to finish all the plugins before I started with the install of all the software synths and libraries. And so I do that, and I get through everything pretty good. There's a couple things and a lot of plugins that I had in the old rig I did not install. All I want is what I use. I'm tired of excess. I'm tired of all this clutter, and things I don't use. I don't need them. I don't care. I mean, are you kidding me? Like what I do, I could do it with like 10 plugins. You know what I mean? Right? Fab Filter, EQ. I mean, that's the peanut butter and jelly of modern Pro Toolsing. Whatever, CLA 1176 and the UAD this and the tape machine and a couple of reverbs. And So anyway, but then we start the install of Native, and that's where I started to have more problems. And it's really more than anything just lack of experience with installing that kind of stuff. And like the last time I installed it was like when 8 years ago. So I don't really remember it. Anyway, that took the better part of half a day to figure out how to get it onto the glyph drive and then get it to see. How do I explain this? Get it to see all. Get contact to see it all on the glyph drive. Which once I figured out how to do it, it's not a big deal. It's I didn't know how to do it, but then also I had to back out of all of this, and I ended up putting battery on the system drive because battery. But the way it indexes, like in the factory default on battery, you cannot change the destination, the routing. So it's going to be it's sending to this folder no matter what. So I couldn't get that. So then it ended up being a thing where I could do it. I could get it to see it if I used in not factory. Window tab or whatever, but I used user, and we thought Nate Perry was over, and we were trying to finagle through it. We thought that was going to be a cool thing, but the problem is every time you started it, it had to rescan the entire thing, and it's not just battery. It's battery uses like all these other programs because it's basically boosting out. Or it's grabbing samples, so it would took like anywhere from like 5 to 8 minutes to scan every single like program in native like whatever. So I'm like, all right, this is not going to work. So I ended up pulling it all out, throwing it in the garbage, and then reinstalling battery, but letting it go into the destination that its default. Once I did that, then I opened it up. Then all I had to do was rescan the factory. It saw everything. But again, that was like took me like 4 hours to kind of figure out. And then that was it. And the rest was just installing, figuring out, how to activate everything. Most everything was really easy. A couple of them were a little tricky. The longest process was Superior Drummer, and keep in mind I have all this stuff here. I have all these libraries and all this stuff on these cloned drives from my old studio, my old cheese grater. Boom, boom, boom. But I didn't want. I wanted to fresh install everything because Cheese Grater, the artist formerly known as Cheese Grater, has been such a scutch and has caused so much curmudgeon that I want to detach from that. I'd rather it take another 10 hours or 8 hours, but I want a fresh install. So this is like the only thing brought over from here were a couple of preset settings folders, like with my settings for Superior and battery, and like my personal drum samples, which are just samples. There's no, but everything else has been absolutely installed from scratch. So that's it. A lot of talk, but anyway, that's it. I wanted to, like I said, I wanted to do a little bit more. Look at that. I can walk back here. I wanted to do a little bit more of like a, I don't know, kind of an unboxing, and I don't know that, but just the whole thing. But it took everything that I could muster up in my knowledge of this, and then some, and it was just too intense, and I just literally had my phone was off and ringer was off. No, there's no cameras. Like we're not videoing this. Like we got to do this. So, but there it is. And yeah, there you have it.